Here we go, 5 seconds.
Hi there, happy Thursday. Canada Reads Winner 2014. Now
The winner of the Killer Prize. Okay, on your program today.
I'm Jian Ghomeshi. This is Q.
The story was about Jian Ghomeshi being fired, and he had been fired on the Sunday, and I got assigned to do the follow story on the Monday, a follow-up story that lasted for 5 weeks and still going, so yeah, it was a long one. You're talking to people within your own company, you're talking to people within your own union, you're talking about somebody that I knew, not very well, but somebody that I had coffee with once.
Hi there, I'm Jian Ghomeshi.
He was a nice guy who happened to be on TV and did this very, very cool radio show that I actually liked. I liked listening to him. So it was just difficult, tricky, very, very murky.
Over the weekend, prominent photos of CBC radio personality Jian Ghomeshi were stripped from the building.
By the end of that Monday, we had filed 6 different versions of a script. We had had about 20 conversations with a lawyer. It was a circus, it was a zoo because there was just so many balls in the air and because the story was literally breaking within and outside. And all these legal and ethical discussions that were being had were happening in real time.
Ghomeshi has filed a $55 million lawsuit against the CBC for breach of confidence and defamation of character.
And the allegations are so incredibly disturbing, so that it's very, very difficult trying to get at the story when the main guy is certainly not talking and when everybody else involved in the story has a vested interest in giving you their spin of it. So it's difficult for sure.
Yesterday, the CBC terminated Ghomeshi's contract, after which he posted a long letter on Facebook about his sexual activities involving S&M, bondage, and submission, and insisted his relations were always consensual.
The first day it broke, we asked for a camera to go down to the Q studio to shoot, the show being hosted by a guest host.
Hi, I'm Brent Bambury. I know for the many of you who love and look forward to this show, this is a very hard day.
And that took some negotiating. Because again, now imagine your show is suddenly at the center of this scandal. It took a couple of hours to sort out and a lot of sensitivities to be aware of. And then you're trying to talk to people who knew this person, who are all shell-shocked that this happened and are offended that you ask, but you're asking as a reporter, but they're looking at you as a colleague. So it was very tricky. There was a lot of people saying, this is a really difficult question. I'm surprised you're asking it. And you'd be like, well, why? How could I not ask it? We found the first woman the same day. Then it's a question of talking to her on the phone and getting her story. Then it's a question of asking her, did she tell anybody? Her friends, would they talk to us? Then bringing her in, then doing an interview, then going through the ethics and the legalities. Can we use her? When do we use her? How do we use her? All that was happening.
Out of nowhere, he did the same thing, grabbed my head, pulled my hair, threw me in front of him, and started hitting me close fist in the side of my head.
Was there any consent on your part?
No.
And then we hear about this other woman who lives in Fredericton, the actress, Lucy Decotero, and she's available the next morning in Fredericton at 6 a.m. It was just frantic. It was write a script, run home, throw a bag together, get to the airport, get to Fredericton in the middle of the night, set up for this shoot, and then meet a woman for the first time who has this incredibly tough story to tell, and just trying to keep your mind, focused.
Just held me up against the wall by my throat. I'm not sure for how long, cut off my breathing, and he slapped me with an open hand, 3 times.
And then being so sensitive to what they're saying, because when you hear somebody make allegations, you always listen with an ear to, does this sound credible? And you do this job long enough and it takes you about a minute to come to that conclusion, sometimes faster. I never felt that the stories weren't credible. I found them sometimes difficult to make sense of, and that's when I was talking about, I think for these women too, they're still kind of trying to process it.
3 people have contacted us, providing us information that they have been victimized relating to these allegations.
You have to be so careful, you have to be so credible, you have to make 100 times effort than others have made to make sure that the people who are telling you their stories can be corroborated. Nobody has seen Ghomeshi. We've had sightings. So people who lived on his street, other people who just send me notes, I think I saw him, I think the newspaper's been picked up, I don't see the lights on. It's just this civic journalism, if you will.
Okay, I'm gonna go voice it. Here's your copy.
I remember days before he got charged, getting a call like at 10:30 at night on a Tuesday saying there's a buzz. What's the buzz? I'm not sure, but there's a buzz. And then an hour later, somebody else sent a note saying there's a buzz, a different source. The next day, 2 other people say there's a buzz. We were basically on standby waiting for this to happen days before and trying to nail down when it's going to happen because we're on TV and we want to get that shot. But nobody had actually seen him until the courthouse. This story, however crazy it was, the main player was exempt from it for days and days and days and days and days until he actually showed up in court.
Guys, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Stairs.
Mr. Ghomeshi will be pleading not guilty.
We had to approach this as we are a news outlet and we were given that mandate from day one. You report on it as if you were any other media outlet, even though you're reporting on your own employer and on your own colleague. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and once in court, how it will play out for the women who have come forward.